Mississippi quite like the gold. It creeps through the cypress looking ancient and old. I got silver in my pocket and a dent in my horn. Just a Delta boy feeling newly reborn. The moss is hanging low like a velvet drapes, hide in the shadows and the ghostly shades. I traded my mule for a ticket to the town. Tired of the levee always breaking back down. The catfish are jumping, whispering my name, telling me the city is a different kind of game. Pack up the grease, pack up the soul. I'm heading where the rhythm starts to roll. Oh, roll, roll on, big river, take me down to the bend, where the music starts and the trouble's in, with a shimmy and a shake and a brassy flare. I'm breathing in that humid New Orleans air. They say the cobblestones are paved with songs, where the weak grow right and the right grow strong. I'll find a corner or a smoky hall and blow my lungs out till the morning calls.
Can you hear the paddle wheel churning up the foam? The SS Magnolia is my temporary home. The boiler's got a fever and the captain's got a thirst. We're gonna hit the levee till the rivets all burst. Check your pocket watch, don't be late. Swing that gangplank, open up the gate. The ladies in their silk and the fellas in their straw, the finest little shimmy that you ever did saw. The smoke from the stack is a turning the sky gray.
We're painting it red in a Dixieland way.
The engine is thumping a beat so sweet, it's making a dancer out of everyone's feet. Do the steamboat strut, let your elbows fly. Wave to the folks as we're passing them by. It's a two-beat rhythm, it's a high-pressure valve, the kind of a heartache that the music can solve.
Natchez to Memphis, then down to the port. Life on the water's a beautiful sport. If the steam gives out, we'll just use the brass to push this old tub through the marsh and the grass.
Until the whole band stops on a sudden, sharp stinger chord.
Gaslights flickering like a nervous eye underneath the purple Louisiana sky. I stepped off the boat and I walked through the door. I'd never seen a floorboard dance before. The air smells like chicory and gin, inviting every saint to a little bit of sin. I saw a girl in a dress of emerald green, the prettiest sight that the South's ever seen. She held a glass of something bright and cold, with a look in her eye that was brassy and bold. She said, "Welcome to the quarter, little country blue. We've got a special kind of rhythm just for you. It's a Bourbon Street baptism. Wash away the dust in a fountain of rhythm and a fever of lust. Baptized in the melody, drowned in the beat, on the holy ground of a New Orleans street." But the sinners stay put, keeping perfect time with a heavy-soled foot. No need for a preacher, no need for a pews, just a three-piece horn section curing the blues.
My baby packed her trunk and she took the midnight train. Left me standing in the warm July rain. I felt like a funeral, I felt like a ghost, the kind of a man who's lost what he loves most. But then I heard a tuba from 3 blocks away, turning a funeral into a holiday. I saw the white umbrellas spinning in the air, lifting up the sorrow, killing the despair. They're carrying a casket for a love that's dead, but they're playing hallelujah loud enough to wake the dead. I joined the procession with my horn in my hand, the newest member of the graveyard band. Step to the left now, swing to the right. We're burying the sadness of the Saturday night. It's a second line shuffle, it's a soul-saving art. A second line for a broken heart. blow a gale, why stay in prison when the music pays bail? The spirit is moving, the spirit is free. Between the cemetery gates and the big oak tree.
Six in the morning at the Cafe du Monde. Of the powdered sugar I'm particularly fond. Got a dark roast dripping and a plate of bacon eggs to help me survive these New Orleans days. My fingers are twitching, my heart's in a race. I got the fastest cornet in the whole damn place. The waiter is humming a syncopated tune underneath the fading of a crescent moon. One sip of the black stuff, two sips of the sweet. I'm ready to blow every man off the street. The steam from the cup and the heat from the horn. This is how a jazzman's Tuesday is born. It's chicory, coffee, and cornet chaos. The rhythm is the boss and it's gonna overpay us. Wake up the neighbors, wake up the dead with a lightning bolt melody inside of your head. Sugar on my jacket, rhythm in my soul. Watch the black coffee down in the bowl. It's bitter, it's muddy, it's strong and it's deep. The kind of a music that kills any sleep. But it make it deep.
Knock 3 times on the green wooden door, then slide a silver dollar across the dusty floor. The lawyers outside with their whistles and their glares, but we're down in the basement beneath the creaky stairs. Don't ask for whiskey, don't ask for wine, just ask for the tea and you'll feel just fine. The blind tiger is growling, a toothless old cat in a room full of smoke and a velvet band hat. The piano is missing a couple of keys, but it plays like a dream in the midnight breeze. The shadows are dancing on the peeling page, turning a sinner into a temporary saint. Keep your eyes on the exit, keep your hand on your glass. Watch the ghosts of the city as they silently pass in the blind tiger's den where the rhythm is king and the only thing louder is the brass when it sings. If the sirens start wailing, don't you lose your cool. Just hide your horn in the umbrella stool. We'll pretend we're a choir, we'll pretend we're at prayer, with the scent of the gin still thick in the air. Keep your eyes on the exit, keep your hand on your glass. Watch the ghosts of the city as they silently pass in the blind tiger's den where the rhythm is king and the only thing louder is the brass when it sings. Down in Congo Square where the dust never sleeps, a secret is a promise that the drumbeat keeps. I saw a woman with a candle in her hair, drawing white circles in the heavy damp air. She looked in my corner, she looked in my hand. She said, "You're playing for the spirits of this hollow land." My feet started moving in a way I didn't know, like a puppet on a string, like a river in a flow. The trombone started moaning like a hurricane wind, singing about the places where the world had thinned. The rhythm isn't swing and it isn't quiet blues, it's the kind of a heartbeat you're afraid to lose. It's the voodoo waltz, though we're counting in four, spinning round the shadows on the muddy floor. A pinch of the salt and a lock of the hair. There's a fever in the music and a hex in the air. Marie Laveau is watching from the garden gate, deciding if the melody is early or late. The brass starts to glow with a strange purple light as we blow away the demons of the Louisiana night. Take over, building to a tribal crescendo, while the horns hold along. The moon is a slice of a lemon in the sky, watching the paddle boat slowly go by. The scent of the magnolia is heavy and sweet, but it's lonesome tonight on this cobblestone street. I'm leaning my back against a wrought iron rail, watching the stars tell a silvery tale. I think of the girl in the emerald gown. Is she lost in the lights of this wide open town? I played her a song, but I didn't catch her name. Now the Bourbon Street neon don't look quite the same. My mouthpiece is cold and my spirit is low, with nowhere to stay and nowhere to go. Oh, Magnolia Midnight, wrap me in your bloom. Chase away the shadows in this empty room. The brass is a whisper, the rhythm is a sigh. They say that the city is a lady of grace, but she hides all her tears behind lace and her face. I'll play for the statues, I'll play for the rain, until the morning sun kills the ghost of the pain.
Swamp where the cypress knees grow, there's a rhythm that the city folks don't even know. The bullfrog is the bass and the cricket is the flute, and the alligator's wearing a checker cloth suit. He's got a tail like a whip and a grin like I saw, the meanest little dancer that the bayou ever saw. We brought out the washboard, we brought out the jug, and we cut a little rug on a mossy green rug. The water started boiling, the bubbles started to pop. Once the Gatortail Stomp starts, it's never gonna stop. Watch your ankles, fella, watch your shiny shoes. The gator's got a hunger for the Dixieland blues. Do the Gatortail Stomp, give your tail a little flick. The rhythm is heavy and the water is thick. It's a swamp fire party, it's a muddy water jump. Everybody's doing the Gatortail Stomp. Don't fall in the drink or your dinner for the band. The percussion is better on the solid dry land. But the snap and the crack of the gator's big jaw is the best syncopation that you ever did draw. Don't fall in the drink or your dinner for the band. The percussion is better on the solid dry land. But the snap and the crack of the gator's big jaw is the best syncopation that you ever did draw. Held high, with a spark in his soul and a glint in his eye. He played in the alleys, he played in the mud. He had New Orleans rhythm pumping through his blood. He stood on the stage of the grandest of halls and blew a high note that shook the very walls. They threw him a crown made of tin and of gold for the bravest cornet player, brassy and bold. From the docks to the mansions, they all knew his tune. The man who could serenade the sun and the moon. He's the king of the quarter, the lord of the street, with the world and his mother at his tapping feet. He's the king of the quarter, hear the trumpet scream, living out the notes of a New Orleans dream. hand. Now he's making the laws and he's making the school, but he still tastes the chicory, he still feels the rain. The king knows the pleasure, the king knows the pain.
Silk hats and feathers and diamonds so bright, they're blinding the stars in the middle of the night. I'm playing for the mayor, I'm playing for the duke. My life is a marvel and not a fluke, but the collars are tight and the smiles are all fake, and I'm wondering how much of this nectar I can take. They want stardust and blueberry play just so, but my soul wants the rhythm that the dock workers know. A lady in pearls asks for something refined, while a dirty blues chorus is stuck in my mind. I'm sweating in my tuxedo, I'm losing my grip on a silver-plated saucer with a champagne drip. It's a high society headache, a gilded cage. I'm a wild-eyed tiger on a velvet stage. Too much of the best is a heavy old load. Give me back the dust of the river road. The floorboards are grand, but they don't understand the heart of the band. They clap on the one when they should clap on the two. It's enough to turn a jasmine's purple heart blue.
Silas got the crown, but the slimer got the itch to throw the king a quarter right into the ditch. Old Rusty Malone has a bone to pick. He's tired of the trumpet and his triple-tongue trick. He's lurking in the wings with a scowl on his face, ready to take over the principal's place. He started playing sour notes behind the lead, sowing the garden with a poisonous weed. A wink at the girl in the emerald gown, trying to bring Silas's castle down. Jealousy's a rhythm that's hard to ignore when it's sliding and moaning across the dance floor. Watch out for the green-eyed trombone's wail. It's a story of a friendship that's gone to the pale. When a brass turns bitter and the harmony breaks, you better start counting your lucky stakes.
say, until the limelight chases the brothers away. The harmony's jagged, the timing is off. Behind every cheer is a cynical scoff.
They offered me a contract in a gold ink pen. Said I'd be the richest of the New Orleans men. Just sign on the line and forget where you're from, and we'll make the whole world march to your drum. But I looked at the ink and it looked like the mud, mixed with a drop of a jazz man's blood. The Emerald Girl, she was part of the play, leading me down where the light fades away. She wasn't a muse, she was just a decoy to capture the heart of a Delta boy. The CD's a mirror that shows you the lie, reflected in the corner of a grifter's eye. It's the Delta deception, the big city kind. 1 minute you're here and the next you are gone. They'll sell you the moon and they'll charge you for light in the middle of a New Orleans Saturday night. I miss the river where the catfish are free, where nobody's trying to make the dollar off me. But the gates have been locked and the bridge has been burned, and the hardest of lessons is the one that I've learned. I miss the Delta. They offer me a contract. They offer me a contract in a golden den. Said I'll be the richest of the New Orleans men. Just sign on the line and forget where you're from, and we'll make the whole world march to your drum. But I look at the ink and it looked like the mother, mixed with a drop of a jazz man's blood. They offer me a contract. They offer me a contract. They offer me a contract in a golden fence, and I'll be the richest of the New Orleans men. They offer me a contract. 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 They offered me a contract. They offered me. They offered me a contract. 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 Yeah. They offered me a contract. 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 They offer me a contract in a golden pen. Say I'd be the richest of the New Orleans men. They signed on the line and forget where you're from, and we'll make the whole world march to your drum. They offer me a contract, they offered me a contract. 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 They offered me a contract in a golden pen. Say I'd be the richest of the New Orleans men. They offered me a contract. Hey, hey. They offered me. They offered me a contract. 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 They offered me. They offered me a contract. They offered me a contract at a golden pen. Said I'd be the richest of the New Orleans men. They offered me a contract. 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 They offered me. They offered me a contract. They offered me a contract. Grab your horn and grab your coat. There's a hole in the plan and a leak in the boat. The law is at the front and the thugs are at the back, and the railway line is a one-way track. I'm running through the cypress, I'm splashing through the break with every single rhythm that a heart can make. My lungs are on fire and my tuxedo is torn, but I'm still holding on to my silver-bladed horn. Across the Pontchartrain where the fog is so thick, I got to find a way to do one last trick. The hounds are obeying, the torches are bright. I'm a fugitive soul in the Louisiana night. It's the Pontchartrain Panic, the race for the soul, where the water is deep and the thunder starts to roll. Keep your feet moving, don't you look behind. There's a New Orleans ghost that you're likely to find. The bridge is so long and the shore is so far. I'm wishing for the light of a north leading star. If I make it to the other side, I'm never coming back to the city of the neon and the velvet and the black. Whoa, my sudden stop, followed by the sound of heavy breathing and a distant echoing boat whistle.
The panic has passed and the sky has turned gray, washing the sins of the city away. I'm sitting in a shack by the edge of the lake, counting the pieces of a heart that won't break. My horn needs a polish, my shoes need a shine, but I'm finally sure that my spirit is mine. The rain on the tin roof is playing a beat that's better than any on a Bourbon street. I'm riding a rag for the mud and the mist, for the girls I have loved and the girls I have kissed. No more high society, no more king, just a simple vibration of a banjo string. It's a rainy day rag, let the water come down. I'm the happiest man to be leaving the town, with a puddle for a mirror and the wind for a fan. I'm a Delta-born jazz-playing, free-thinking man. Tomorrow the sun will come out from the trees, and I'll catch the scent of the salt on the breeze. I'll head further north or I'll stay where I am, away from the hustle and the New Orleans jam.
Northbound freight, leaving behind the heavy hand of fate. The floor is shaking and the wind is cold, but I've got a story that's yet to be told. The rhythm of the track is a syncopated click, faster than a drummer with a hickory stick. Passing through the pines and the red clay hills, away from the clubs and the high-priced thrills. I'm sharing my bread with a man named Slim. I played a little chorus on my horn for him. He tapped his tattered boots on the boxcar floor. We didn't need a stage or a velvet door. It's a boxcar bebop rolling on the steel, finally knowing how the wandering feel. No crown on my head, just a soot in my hair, and a New Orleans melody to take me there. Is a brand new song for the weary and the lonesome who don't belong. The iron horse is screaming, the night is a blur, moving toward a future that's a maybe and a word.
They tore down the parlors and they dimmed the red light, but the ghosts are still dancing in the middle of the night. I see the shadows of the professors on the wall, playing rags in a long-forgotten empty hall. The silk is all tattered and the perfume is faint on the street that could turn a sinner to a saint. I remember the nights when the music was loud and I was just a face in a laughing, dancing crowd. Now the district is quiet, just the wind in the weeds, planting the sorrow and the memory seeds. But if you listen close to the crumbling brick, you can hear the phantom ghost of a drummer's lick. Oh, the ghost of Storyville is calling my name, reminding me that glory is a flickering flame. The brass is a memory, the rhythm is a ghost of the city that I used to love the most. It just hides in the shadows of a tenement wall, waiting for a spark, waiting for a breath to prove there's a music that can conquer death. Ooh. I walked into a kitchen on a dead-end street and heard the familiar sound of a rhythmic beat. There was Rusty on the trombone and Spoons on the kit, eating red beans and rice and making a hit. They didn't see a king, they didn't see a ghost, just the brother that they'd always missed the most. I pulled out my cornet, all tarnished and gray, and we started to play in the old-fashioned way. No contracts, no glitter, no high society lies, just the look of the music in a true friend's eyes. It's a tin roof reunion, let the rafters shake for the sake of the rhythm and the heart's own sake. The beans are in the pot and the beer is on ice, and playing with your brothers is a paradise.
but there's plenty of room for the spirit to come in. From the mud of the Delta to the lights of the town, I've been a beggar and I've worn a golden crown. I've run from the law and I've slept in the rain. I've caught the high notes and I've felt the low pain. It's a long winding road where the cypress trees sway, and I've blown my own horn every step of the way. The rundown is simple, the rundown is deep. It's the promises made and the promises we keep. It's the Spanish tings and the second line strut. It's the wide open soul and the eyes halfway shut. If you ask me the secret, I'll tell you it's true. The music don't care what the world thinks of you. It's the big easy rundown, the final report. Life is a solo and the chorus is short. Give 'em some brass and a whole lot of soul, and let the Mississippi River just continue to roll. I'm handing the horn to the boy on the corner. May his spirit be bright and his heart be a warner. The song never ends, it just changes its name, leaving the player but keeping the flame. It's the big easy rundown, the final report. Life is a solo and the chorus is short. Give 'em some brass and a whole lot of soul, and let the Mississippi River just continue to
The day is all done and the shadows are long. The world is a whisper and the world is a song. I'm sitting on the levee with my feet in the grass, watching the gold-colored evening pass. The river is a mirror for the lavender sky, as the last of the dragonflies days flutter on by.
No more running, no more panic or stomp, just the quiet of the marsh and the cool of the swamp.
I've played my last chorus, I've had my last drink, and I've got all the time in the world now to think. I'm a part of the rhythm, I'm a part of the mud, with a New Orleans sunset in my Delta blood. When the sun hits the levee and the world goes to sleep, there's a silence so holy and a silence so deep. Lay down the cornet, let the melody rest in the arms of the city that loves you the best. By a single soft that held for 15 seconds, the stars are coming out one by one by one, to see what the music of the daytime has done. The rundown is finished, the record is through, and I'm sending a final hallelujah to you.